Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep, often called the Crawling Chaos, is one of the most unique entities in the Cthulhu mythos. Unlike most of the great old ones and outer gods, who are distant, alien, and uncaring, Nyarlathotep is active, cunning, and walks among humanity. He was first mentioned by H.P. Lovecraft in the prose poem Nyarlathotep, 1920, and has appeared in countless mythos stories since. Nyarlathotep's abilities set him apart. He can shapeshift into over 1,000 forms, from human-like figures to monstrous horrors. He understands human emotions and uses them against us, manipulating fear, trust with surgical precision. Unlike the silent, dreaming gods, Nyarlathotep speaks clearly and acts as the voice of the outer gods. Most importantly, he is the messenger of Azathoth, the blind idiot god at the center of chaos. Where Azathoth mindlessly churns at the heart of the universe, Nyarlathotep carries out his will with intelligence and cruelty. He spreads madness, guides cult, delivers forbidden knowledge, and ensures the chaos of Azathoth reaches every corner of existence, all while delighting in human suffering. Yog Sothoth. Yog Sothoth is the key and the gate, a god that exists outside of time and space, but also fills every corner of it. He sees everything at once, past, present, future. It's all right in front of him, like a single map already drawn. To him, nothing is hidden, and nothing is private. And the worst part? He answers. Most gods ignore prayers, but Yog Sothoth listens. If you call out to him, he will respond. He'll give you what you want, secrets no one was meant to know, power that bends reality, knowledge that breaks the human mind. Now hold it right there, kids. Don't even think about asking for a time stop power. I know exactly who you are, and this is a warning. If not, I'll come for you. But the moment you take it, you start falling apart. Not in a poetic way, literally. Your body twists, your mind snaps, your bloodline rots like a disease passed down through generations. That's why they call him the key and the gate. It sounds mysterious, but really it means he controls every way in and every way out. You don't discover him on purpose. You stumble into him when you look too long into the night sky and feel something staring back. Yog Sothoth isn't evil. Evil implies choice. Yog Sothoth is inevitability. He is what happens when the universe shows you its raw truth. You can pray to him if you want, but understand, you're not getting answers. You're signing your life away, and the pen is already in his hand. Tsathoggua. Tsathoggua is known as the Sleeper of Nkai, one of the great old ones from the shared Cthulhu mythos. Unlike Yog Sothoth, he didn't come directly from H.P. Lovecraft. He was created by Clark Ashton Smith, a close friend of Lovecraft. But Tsathoggua still shows up in Lovecraft's own stories, first appearing by name in The Whisperer in Darkness. He's described as squat and pot-bellied, with a toad-like head, short dark fur, and features that look both bat and sloth. His eyelids droop, his eyes bulge, and a strange tongue flickers from his fat mouth. Tsathoggua is incredibly lazy. He almost never leaves his underground chamber, and if someone wakes him, he might just eat them. However, if you bring a sacrifice, he'll eat that instead. Tsathoggua's will is carried out by creatures called the Formless Spawn, shapeless, black goo-like beings that can squeeze into cracks, shift into any form, and hunt down anyone who disrespects their master. Nearly impossible to escape, they serve as his ever-watchful guardians. These beings are mostly used to keep non-believers at bay. If they want you, they'll find you. Hastur. Hastur, often called the King in Yellow, is one of the most mysterious and dangerous entities in the Cthulhu mythos. He first appeared in Ambrose Bierce's short story Haida the Shepherd, 1893, but was later woven into Lovecraft's mythos through Robert W. Chambers' The King in Yellow, 1895, and Lovecraft's own references. Unlike other old ones, Hastur doesn't always appear directly. His presence spreads through symbols, plays, and whispers that infect the minds of mortals. Hastur's influence is subtle but devastating. He drives people to madness through visions, forbidden knowledge, and obsession with the mysterious King in Yellow. Those who encounter his signs often spiral into despair, paranoia, or irreversible mental breakdowns. Cultists revere him, believing his arrival will reshape the world, but this blessing is just a mask for cosmic horror. He's connected to Carcosa, a shadowy city beyond time and space, where reality bends and the impossible feels natural. Hastur's touch is not about brute force like Cthulhu or Azathoth. It's the slow erosion of sanity, the creeping certainty that the universe is bigger, stranger, and far crueler than anyone can comprehend. Azathoth. Azathoth is the ultimate outer god, the blind idiot god, the nuclear chaos at the center of all existence. He first appeared in H.P. Lovecraft's story The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, 1927, though he's mentioned in earlier notes and fragments. Azathoth isn't a being you meet in a cave or a temple. He's the thing at the very core of reality, and everything else exists only because of his endless, unconscious dreaming. Azathoth is a formless, chaotic mass, always twisting, changing, and spewing out strange shapes. Around him swarm the other gods, lesser, mindless beings that dance and scream without end. Flutes play a non-stop, maddening tune, keeping Azathoth asleep. Because if he ever woke up, the universe would collapse. Everything exists only because Azathoth dreams it. Unlike Cthulhu, who has a mind, or Nyarlathotep, who manipulates, Azathoth has no thought at all. He is pure chaos, blind, mindless, and unstoppable. Yet his influence still reaches across the universe through Nyarlathotep, his messenger, who speaks for him and spreads his madness among mortals. That's Azathoth, the god of chaos, the one whose dream is our reality, and the last being you'd ever want to awaken. Cthulhu. Cthulhu is the great dreamer, the squid-faced titan who sleeps at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, waiting for the day he wakes up and everything ends. He first appeared in H.P. Lovecraft's short story The Call of Cthulhu in 1928, and ever since, he's been the unofficial mascot of cosmic horror. People slap his face on t-shirts and coffee mugs like he's some cute octopus god, but in the actual lore, he's less plushy and more existential death sentence. Unlike Yog Sothoth, who is everywhere at once and exists as pure knowledge and infinity, Cthulhu is something more grounded, more tangible. He has a body, a place, and a city. You could point to where he sleeps, even if finding him means losing your sanity. Yog Sothoth is cosmic horror as a concept, but Cthulhu is cosmic horror you can almost touch, the part of the unknown that feels close enough to crush you. Cthulhu rests in the sunken city of Urlaya, a nightmare place built from angles that don't make sense and structures that bend reality itself. Even in his sleep, he spreads influence. Dreams, nightmares, and visions ripple out across the world, infecting the minds of artists, prophets, and lunatics who end up sketching his face without knowing why. That's his power. He doesn't need to move to control. Just by existing, he warps thought and belief. When sailors and cultists stumbled across Urlaya in Lovecraft's story, they weren't just facing some monster. They were standing in front of a god who isn't dead, but not fully alive either. Shub-Niggurath. Shub-Niggurath is the black goat of the woods with 1,000 young, a god of endless birth and creation. She doesn't bring life the way people imagine. No gentle hands, no caring presence. Instead, she floods the world with creatures, pouring them out non-stop, like reality itself is tearing open. 1,000 young doesn't mean exactly 1,000. It means too many to count. Every patch of forest, every shadow, every breath of air could be hiding another one of her children, clawing their way into existence. People worship her, even knowing this. Why? Because she gives. She can make crops grow, she can fill villages with food, she can raise armies from her endless children. To her followers, it feels like a blessing, but it's not love, it's not protection, it's just production. She doesn't care who prays, who dies, or who gets crushed under the weight of her creations. That's the truth about Shub-Niggurath. She isn't evil, but she isn't good either. She's something worse, a force that never stops, a womb that never closes. She doesn't choose to help or harm. She simply keeps creating, spilling more and more until the land itself is overrun. When people call her name, they're not asking for comfort. They're opening the door to something that never ends. Once it starts, it cannot be stopped. Cythlla. Cythlla is the secret daughter of Cthulhu, born to carry on his influence while he sleeps. She's not just a smaller version of him. She's a force designed to keep his cult alive and his plans moving forward. First mentioned in Lovecraftian expansions, she lurks in the shadows, waiting for the day her father rises, or for the day she becomes the center of chaos herself. Unlike Cthulhu, who sleeps in Urlaya, Cythlla moves through the world more subtly. She's hidden in coastal waters and remote islands, her presence whispered among cultists who build altars and make offerings without fully understanding what she is. She's a living continuation of Cthulhu's essence, carrying the same psychic weight in her dreams and influence, but scaled down just enough to manipulate without outright apocalypse. Cthilla's power lies in her ability to propagate the Old One's cult. Entire communities of worshippers exist because of her, drawn to her unknowable will. Sailors vanish near her waters, and entire villages worship her unknowingly, believing her blessings are mere coincidence. She doesn't need to destroy the world yet. Her role is patience and preparation. Alright kids, I really enjoyed making this video. If you enjoyed it too, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own list in the comments below.